Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gene Rimsky Theater. Thank you for your patience. My name is Amanda Kowalczyk, and I am the Manager of Community Affairs here at the theater. And I am very pleased to welcome you all today. For today's program, we are pleased to welcome Marcie Passley. Marcie lives right here in Port Washington, and she's here today to present her program, Broadway Duos, which is the music of some of Broadway's most iconic duos. It's going to be a wonderful show, and we're very glad to see you all here. I would also like to extend a warm thank you to our sponsors, the Bristol Assisted Living, Manhasset Community Fund's Green Tree Foundation, New York State Council on the Arts, and special thanks to Serendipity for their generous tea donation. And now please sit back, relax, and enjoy Marcie Passley. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Sing me a happy song about robins in spring. Sing me a happy song with a happy ending. Some cheerful rondelet about catching the ring. Sing happy. Sing me a sonnet all about rolling in gold. Some peppy melody about rainbows blending. Nothing with phrases saying you're out in the cold. Sing happy. Tell me tomorrow's gonna be peaches and cream. Assure me clouds are lined with a silver lining. Say how you realize an impossible dream. Sing me a happy song. Play me a madrigal about trips to the moon, or some old ballad all about two eyes shining. It can't be loud enough for a moment too soon. Sing happy. No need reminding me how it all fell apart. I need no lyrics singing of stormy weather. There's quite enough around me that's breaking my heart. Sing happy. Give me a hallelujah, then get up and shout. Tell me the sun is shining around the corner. Who's ever interested in helping me out? Please keep it happy. Yeah. I'm only in the market for long, loud laughter. I'll let you serenade me till dawn comes along. Just make it a happy, keep it a happy time. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Marcie Passley, and it is such a pleasure to be back sharing an afternoon of music with you. There is nothing more human in music than the collaboration between talented individuals. And today's show is a celebration of some of the most successful partnerships in the history of musical theater. some of Broadway's most beloved duos, and what I like to refer to as the ands. From Kander and Ebb to Lerner Lowe to Rodgers and Hammerstein, each composer-lyricist team had a unique chemistry which helped make their success span decades. We begin with two brothers, Ira and George Gershwin. Ira wrote the lyrics to his brother George's music, and together they created some of the most popular songs of the 1920s and 30s. Growing up in the tenements of New York, the Gershwins' music seemed to blend the variety of sounds that were often heard wafting through the streets of New York. Influences of jazz, Tin Pan Alley, classical, musical comedy, and cultural music, and all of this is heard in their melodies and in their lyrics. They created their very distinctive sound this way. And the brothers worked so seamlessly together that Ira once said that George had so many tunes on tap for him that if he couldn't recall exactly the start of a particular one he wanted to discuss was, he would visualize the vocal line and draw with his forefinger an approximation of the melody in the air. And more often than not, George knew exactly which tune he meant. This next song is a clever little tune written by the Gershwin brothers. Thank you. Now, this next showstopper was written for the musical Girl Crazy, which introduced a young singer by the name of Ethel Merman. I've got rhythm, I've got music, I've got my man who could ask for anything more. I've got daisies in green pastures, I've got my man who could ask for anything more. Old man trouble, I don't mind him, you won't find him round my door. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams, I've got my man who could ask for anything more, who could ask for anything more. Sweet wind, sweet, oh starlight. I've got sweet dreams. I've got my man. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more? Ba-ba-doo-ba-dee-da-bow. Thank you. Composer Marvin Hamlish said it perfectly. I think Gershwin was this kind of dynamo. When I look at how much he did, how much he wrote whether he was hired to write or not. Most composers write because they're hired to write, but he just kept going. He was a force of nature with the unbelievable passion to keep writing. The musical world was heartbroken when George Gershwin died unexpectedly at the age of 38. Think how much more music he would have written had his life not been cut short. From Funny Face, here is He Loves and She Loves. Now that I have found you, I must hang around you, though you may refuse me, you will never lose me. If the human race is full of happy faces, it's because they all love that wondrous thing they call love. He loves and she loves and they love, so why can't you love and I love too? Birds love and bees love and whispering trees love, and that's what we both should do. Oh, I always knew someday you'd come along. We'd make a twosome that just can't go wrong. Hear me. He loves and she loves and they love, so won't you love me like I love you? Thank you. Composer Jerome Kern and lyricist Oscar Hammerstein are our next pair of Anns. Their partnership helped to launch a new genre in American musical theater. Musical comedy of the 1920s and the 1930s had no dramatic or emotional validity, but Kern and Hammerstein took a risk and strayed away from the traditional confinements of musical comedy when in 1927 they wrote the musical Showboat. Now, Showboat was something unique for the musical stage of the day. It was a musical comedy with a dramatic truth, a logical plot, and a love story that rang true. It had realistical characters and important themes. Here are some of my favorites from the classic Showboat. Sister, I love my Mr. Man, but I can't tell you why. There ain't no reason why I should love that man. It must be something that the angels done planned. Fish gotta swim and birds gotta fly. I gotta love one man till I die. Can't help loving that man of mine. Tell me he's lazy, tell me he's slow, tell me I'm crazy, hey, maybe I know. Can't help loving that man of mine. When he goes away, that's a rainy day, but when he comes back, that day is fine. The sun will shine. He can come home as late as can be. Home without him, well, that ain't no home to me. Can't help loving that man of mine. Thank you. And this next song was later added to the movie. I want to be no one but me. I am in love with a lover who likes me the way I am. I have my faults. He has my faults. I'm not very bright. He's not very bright. He thinks I'm grand. That's grand for me. He may be wrong, but if we get along, what do we care, say we? When he holds me close, close enough to be, I tell the lad that I'm grateful and glad that I'm nobody else but me. I have my faults. He likes my faults. I'm not very bright. He's not very bright. He thinks I'm grand. That's grand for me. He may be wrong, but if we get along, what do we care, say we? Walking on the shore, swimming in the sea, I tell the lad that I'm grateful and glad that I'm nobody else but me. When he holds me close, close enough to be, I tell the lad that I'm grateful and glad that I'm nobody else but me. Thank you. Hammerstein, who directed the show, decided that when the curtain went down on Showboat, that it wouldn't go back up again for curtain call. And this had never been done on Broadway before. By not breaking the fourth wall, the audience was left to consider what they had just seen on stage and to keep their connection with the characters of the story rather than the actors. Showboat is still considered one of the great masterpieces of American musical theater. Here's one of my favorites from Showboat. I used to dream that I would discover the perfect lover someday. I knew I'd recognize him if ever he came around my way. I always used to fancy then he'd be one of of those godlike kind of men with a giant brain and a noble head, like the heroes bold in the books I've read. But along came Bill, who's not the type at all. You'd see him on the street and never notice him. His form and face, his manly grace are not the kind that you would find in a statue. Oh, I can't complain, it's surely not his brain that makes me thrill. I love him because he's wonderful, because he's just my Bill. He can't play golf or tennis or polo or sing a solo or row. He isn't half as handsome as dozens of men that I know. He isn't tall or straight or slim, and he dresses far worse than Ted or Jim. Still, I can't explain why he should be just the one man in the world for me. He's just my Bill, an ordinary guy. He hasn't got a thing that I can brag about, and yet to be upon his knee, so comfy and roomy, seems natural to me. Oh, I can't explain, it's surely not his brain that makes me thrill. I love him because he's, I don't know, because he's just my Bill. Thank you. Composer Richard Rodgers and lyricist Larry Hart's partnership spanned the 1920s through the early 1940s. Their partnership produced a string of Broadway musicals, most of which were hits. And their shows lived in an era when musicals were more revue-like rather than built around a plot. Though they were geniuses of this musical era, the team tried to raise the standards of the musical form in general, and because they had always considered the integration of story and music a crucial factor in a successful show. In 1938, they wrote the musical The Boys from Syracuse, which was based around Shakespeare's The Comedy of Errors. Here are two songs from The Boys from Syracuse, Falling in Love with Love and This Can't Be Love. Falling in love with love is falling for make-believe. Falling in love with love is playing the fool. Caring too much is such a juvenile fancy. Learning to trust is just for children in school. I fell in love with love one night when the moon was full. I was unwise with eyes unable to see. I fell in love with love everlasting. But love fell out with me. This This can't be love because I feel so well. No sobs, no sorrows, no sighs. This can't be love, I get no dizzy spells. My head is not in the skies. My heart does not stand still, just hear it beat. This is too sweet to be love. This can't be love because I feel so well, but still I love to look in your eyes. Thank you. In 1941, Richard Rodgers was asked to write the music to the revamping of a not very successful play called Green Grow the Lilacs. He asked his writing partner, Larry Hart, if he was interested in working on the project, but Larry Hart wasn't, and so then Rodgers went and approached Oscar Hammerstein to see if he was up for the challenge. Green Grow the Lilacs eventually became Oklahoma. It premiered in 1943 and would become the start of the Golden Age American book musical. Though Showboat provided the template for the standard book musical, 15 years later, Oklahoma solidified the genre. Broadway audiences, producers, reviewers, and creators would all, from here on out, commit to the book musical as the preferred musical theater genre. Now, these next songs are from Rodgers and Hammerstein shows. See if you can guess which show they originated from. My doll is as dainty as a sparrow. Her figure is something to applaud. Where she's narrow as an arrow. And she's broad, where a broad should be broad. 101 pounds of fun, that's my little honey bun. Get a load of honey bun tonight. I'm speaking to my sweetie pie, only 60 inches high. Every inch is packed with dynamite. Her hair is blonde and curly. Her curls are hurly-burly. Her lips are pips. I call her hips. Twirly and whirly. She's my baby. I'm her pap. I'm her booby. She's my trap. I am caught and I don't want to run, 'cause I'm having so much fun with honey bun. I am caught and I don't want to run, 'cause I'm having so much fun with honey bun. Believe me, Sonny, she's a cookie who will cook you till you're done. Ain't being funny, Sonny, put your money on my honey bun. Thank you. Anybody know that one? That was South Pacific. This next one might be easy. Let's see. Minutes ago I saw you. I looked up when you came through the door. My head started reeling. You gave me the feeling the room had no ceiling or floor. 10 minutes ago I met you, and we murmured our how do you do's. I wanted to ring out the bells and fling out my arms and to sing out the news. I have found him, he's an angel with the dust of the stars in his eyes. We are dancing, we are flying, and he's taking me back to the skies. In the arms of my love I'm flying over mountains and meadows and glen. And I like it so well that for all I can tell, I may never come down again. I may never come down to earth again. That one was from Cinderella. I'm just a girl who can't say no. I'm in a terrible fix. I always say, come on, let's go, when I had ought to say nix. When a person tries to kiss a girl, I know she ought to give his face a smack. But as soon as someone kisses me, I somehow sort of want to kiss him back. I'm just a fool when lights are low. I can't be prissy and quaint. I ain't the type that can faint. How can I be what I ain't? I can't say no. Oklahoma. This one's definitely easy. I am 16, going on 17. I know that I'm naive. Fellows I meet may tell me I'm sweet, and willingly I believe. I am 16, going on 17, innocent as a rose. Bachelor dandies, drinkers of brandies, what do I know of those? Totally unprepared am I to face a world of men. Timid and shy and scared am I of things beyond my ken. I need someone older and wiser telling me what to do. You are 17, going on 18. I'll depend on you. Sound of music. Alone and awake, I gazed at the stars, the same that smiled on you. And time and again, I've thought all the thoughts that you've been thinking too. I have dreamed that your arms are lovely. I have dreamed what a joy you'll be. I have dreamed every word you'll whisper when you're close to me. How you look in the glow of evening. I have dreamed and enjoyed the view. In these dreams I've loved you so, and by now I think I know what it's like to be loved by you. I will love being loved by you. Thank you. And that one was from The King and I. The partnership between Lerner and Lowe began in 1942, somewhat by chance. Lyricist Alan Lerner was having lunch at the popular Lambs Club when composer Frederick Lowe made a wrong turn on the way to the men's room and ran into Lerner. And the rest is history. In 1956, Lerner Lowe tackled the complex story Pygmalion with their hit musical, My Fair Lady. Other composer-lyricist teams had attempted the story, including Rodgers and Hammerstein, but they quickly gave up. Hammerstein said it had no subplot. Rex Harrison was cast as the male lead, and Lerner and Lowe tailored their songs to fit his inexperienced singing voice. They wrote quick tunes with a lot of notes, which were to be recited rather than sung. Here are several from My Fair Lady. All I want is a room somewhere far away from the cold night air, with one enormous chair. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Lots of chocolate for me to eat, lots of coal, make lots of heat, warm face, warm hands, warm feet. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Oh, so lovely, synapse a bloom and lutely still. I would never budge till spring crept over me windowsill, someone's head resting on my knee, warm and tender as he can be, who takes good care of me. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely? Lovely, lovely. I've grown accustomed to his face. He almost makes the day begin. I've gotten used to hear the tune. He whistles night and noon. His smiles, his frowns, his ups, his downs are second nature to me now. Like breathing out and breathing in. I was serenely independent and content before we met. Surely I could always be that way again. And yet, I've grown accustomed to his voice, accustomed to his looks, accustomed to his face. I've gotten used to hear him say good morning every day. His highs, his lows, his joys, his woes are second nature to me now. Like breathing out and breathing in. I'm very grateful he's a man and quite easy to forget. Almost like a habit one can always break. And yet, I've grown accustomed to the trace of something in the air, accustomed to his face. Bed, I couldn't go to bed. My head's too light to try to set it down. Sleep, I couldn't sleep tonight. Not for all the jewels in the crown. I could have danced all night. have danced all night and still have begged for more. I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things I've never done before. I'll never know what made it so exciting. Why all at once my heart took the light. I only know when he began to dance with me. I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night and still have begged for more. I could have spread my wings and done 1,000 things I've never done before. I'll never know what made it so exciting. Why all at once my heart took the light. I only know when he began to dance with me. I could have danced Thank you. When asked about their writing process, Lerner said that the property dictates the process. We are the means by which the characters express themselves, not vice versa. When we felt that we really knew them, that's when we began to work on the score. In 1960, Lerner Lowe gave us Camelot. Each evening from December to December, before you drift asleep upon your cot, think back on all the tales that you remember of Camelot. Ask every person if he's heard the story, and say it strong and clear if he has not. That once there was a fleeting wisp of glory called Camelot. Camelot. Now say it out with pride and joy. Camelot. Yes, Camelot, my boy. Where once it never rained till after sundown. By 8 a.m. the morning fog had flown. Don't let it be forgot that once there was a spot for one brief shining moment that was known as Camelot. Oh, where are the simple joys of maidenhood? Where are all those adoring, daring boys? Where's the knight pining so for me? He leaps to death in woe for me. Oh, where are a maiden's simple joys? Shan't I have the normal life a maiden should? Shall I never be rescued from the wood? Shall two knights never tilt for me and let their blood be spilt for me? Oh, where are the simple joys of maiden? Shall I not be on a pedestal, worshipped and competed for? Not be carried off, or better still, start a little war? Where are the simple joys of maidenhood? Are those sweet, gentle pleasures gone for good? Shall a feud not begin for me? Shall kith not kill their kin for me? Oh, where are the trivial joys, harmless convivial joys? Where are the simple joys of maidenhood? If ever I would leave you, it wouldn't be in summer. Seeing you in summer, I never could go. Your hair streaked with sunlight, your lips red as flame, your face with a luster that puts gold to shame. But if I'd ever leave you, it wouldn't be in autumn. How I'd leave in autumn, I never would know. I've seen how you sparkle when fall nips the air. I know you in autumn, and I must be there. Or could I leave you running merrily through the snow? Or on a wintry evening when you catch the fire's glow? If ever I would leave you, it wouldn't be in springtime. How I'd leave in springtime, I never would know. Oh no, not in springtime, summer, winter, or fall. No, never would I leave you at all. Thank you. The next great partnership is that of Jerry Bach and Sheldon Harnick. Sheldon Harnick wrote the lyrics to Jerry Bach's music, and the team developed a method in working in which Bach would write the music, record it, and then later send it to Harnick to weave in the lyrics. Harnick said that it was his own world premiere and he couldn't wait to put in the lyrics. In one instance, while working on a number from the musical She Loves Me, Harnick describes becoming dangerously enraptured by his partner's music. He was walking around the streets of New York City, singing the melody to himself, trying to write the lyrics, and he stepped out in front of a truck. The driver slammed on his brakes, honked his horn, but he just looked up, startled, and then kept right on walking and putting in the lyrics. Here is that song that was running through his head that day. I'm nervous and upset because this guy I've never met I get to meet tonight at 8. He's taking me to dinner at a charming old cafe, but who can eat tonight at 8? It's early in the morning and our date is not till 8 o'clock tonight, and yet already I can see what a nightmare this whole day will be. I haven't slept a wink, I only think of our approaching tete-a-tete tonight at 8. I I feel a combination of depression and elation. What a state to wait till 8. 3 more minutes, 2 more seconds, 10 more hours to go. In spite of all I've written, he may not be very smitten, and my hopes may all perhaps collapse kaput tonight at 8. Bach and Harnick's most successful and beloved collaboration, Fiddler on the Roof, opened on Broadway in 1964. The New York Times stated, Mr. Bach proved adept at writing music that reflected both time and circumstance, and Mr. Harnick's lyrics did the same. They could get into all the skin of this very diverse music. Here are some of my favorites from the musical Fiddler on the Roof. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Matchmaker, matchmaker, look through your book and make me the perfect match. Matchmaker, matchmaker, I'll bring the veil. You bring the groom, slender and pale. Bring me a ring, for I'm longing to be the envy of all I see. For Papa, make him a scholar. For Mama, make him rich as a king. For me, well, I wouldn't holler if he were as handsome as anything. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Find me a find, catch me a catch. Night after night in the dark and alone. So find me a match of my own. Matchmaker, matchmaker, plan me no plans. I'm in no rush. Maybe I've learned playing with matches. A girl can get burned. So bring me no ring, groom me no groom, find me no find, catch me no catch, unless he's a match, match, match. Thank you. Is this the little girl I carried? Is this the little boy at play? I don't remember growing older. When did she get to be a beauty? When did he grow to be so tall? Wasn't it yesterday that they were small? Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly flew the days. Seedlings turn overnight to sunflowers, blossoming even as we gaze. Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset, swiftly fly the years. One season following another, laden with happiness and ease. Thank you. A friend of Jerry Bach's summed it up. Jerry Bach believed that the essence of musical theater was the collaboration, working with your colleagues, trying to make a unified whole out of the disparate parts. I leave you with Kander and Ebb. Their surnames were indivisible. You couldn't say one without the other. Composer John Kander and lyricist Fred Ebb collaborated for more than 40 years, from the mid-1960s to the early 2000s. Their bold and brassy style gave rise to a series of extremely popular and provocative musicals, including Cabaret, Chicago, Kiss of the Spider Woman, and the Scottsboro Boys. David Thompson, who was a book writer for the Scottsboro Boys, put it perfectly. John and Fred would always take you to a very dangerous places, but while you're going there, you're enjoying every minute of it. Here is one of my favorite songs from the 1975 musical, Chicago. It's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it nowadays? There's men everywhere, jazz everywhere, booze everywhere, life everywhere, joy everywhere nowadays. You can like the life you're living. You can live the life you like. You can even marry Harry, but mess around with Ike. And that's good, isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Isn't it swell? Isn't it fun? Isn't it? But nothing stays. In 50 years or so, it's gonna change, you know. But oh, it's heaven nowadays. Thank you. Composer John Kander and Ebb had this great impact on Liza Minnelli's career. She was a favorite of the writing duos, and they collaborated with her on many of their hit musicals. Kander once said, "One nice thing about writing for Liza is that you don't have to write for Liza. She can do anything. You know that whatever you do write, she's going to deliver it exactly the way you intended it." Liza Minnelli took home a Tony for her work in Kander and Ebb's 1978 musical, The Act. Here is My Own Space from the musical The Act. I won't need much, just my own space. A little time with my own thoughts in my own space. Some place to run, some place to hide, where there is no one else but me to meet inside. I love you more than I can ever say. I love you more with every passing day. Allow me light, a breath of air. Leave me the only thing I own I cannot share. Just leave me that sweet love of mine. Just leave me that, just my own space, and we'll be fine. Thank you. I leave you with one more Kander and Ebb song from the musical And the World Goes Round. Here is And the World Goes Round. Sometimes you're happy and sometimes you're sad, but the world goes round. Sometimes you lose every nickel you've had, but the world goes round. Sometimes your dreams get broken to pieces, but that doesn't matter at all. Take it from me, there's still gonna be a summer, a winter, a spring, and a fall. And sometimes a friend starts treating you bad, but the world goes around. And sometimes your heart breaks with a deafening sound. Somebody loses and somebody wins, and one day it's kicks that needs kicks in the shins. But the planet spins and the world goes round and around. Oh, sometimes you're happy and sometimes you're sad, but the world goes round. And sometimes you lose every nickel you've had, but the world goes round. Somebody loses and somebody wins, and one day it's kicks that needs kicks in the shins. But the planet spins and the world goes round and around and around and around and round. The world goes round and around. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Thank you all so much. And thank you to Dante and Sean and Amanda. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Wow, thank you, Marcie. Let's keep it going. That was wonderful. Thank you so much. I saw a lot of you singing along, which means you were having a great time. Wasn't she great? Thank you all so much for coming. Please join us for our next afternoon tea on June 21st, where we'll have the Port Washington Music Study Club. Have a wonderful day, everyone.